Oscar, I'll tell you where we should go next. James Ward-Prowse. James, I can't say that. Listen. I can't.
What do I say every time? What are people doing? Giving free kicks in a Ward-Prowse zone. What's wrong with you,
Robinho? First of all, listen. First of all, it's a penalty, right? It's a golf. What do they call it? A golf under par, right? Yeah. Thing is, Southampton have had one clean sheet in 28 games.
Southampton have no manager.
Guys, this Don was wearing a suit. Yeah, this Don was wearing a suit. The blazer was way too big. Yeah, this is a guy who's not ready to manage.
By the way, SW6. The answer is no. We're not in the title race. Just say,
definitely in the title race.
We're not.
No. Look, guys, they want me to say
Oscar, James.
Let me just say something. Southampton are the worst team in the league. Yeah, by a country. Let me tell you how bad. Let me tell you just how bad Southampton are. Southampton beat Chelsea on the weekend, and they're still bottom. How many teams win a game and don't move in this league? You're still rock bottom after winning. It's Oscar, a calamity.
Oscar, you lost to Southampton twice this season. Home and away.
Once under Tuchel, another under Potter.
One's under Hasenhüttl, another one under what's the name? Tell us. What's
TBC.
TBC.
Or NA. I don't know.
But for me, the week didn't start in at Southampton. It started in Dortmund. Obviously, I travelled to Dortmund on Tuesday. I have to say one thing, guys. Dortmund is probably the worst city I've ever been to, and I lived in guys. I lived in Coventry, and Dortmund is worse. Like, I just want to let you guys know.
Wait, why did you dump on Coventry like that? What did they do?
Peter,
I've been to Coventry.
You know. I don't.
All right, Peter, have you been to Coventry?
Coventry is just a joined road from Birmingham to friggin' I don't know. Like,
the best bit is the race course where they do the dog racing.
Roundabouts. It's just the roundabouts in Coventry. Oscar, go ahead.
You lot know. I don't swear, but it is a hole. There's nothing there.
No.
There's nothing there. Dortmund sucks. Oh
Oscar,
my
I
goodness.
can't believe it.
Oh my goodness.
Hearing this.
Yeah. No, guys, it's the worst city in the world. It's a stadium and that's it. Yeah, it is absolutely shocking, downright deplorable. You asked me why I was in Cologne. Cologne is a blast. Cologne's a great city.
Cologne's a banger. Cologne's a banger.
Cologne's got like people. It's got like a city centre.
It's got people.
It's got like landmarks and stuff.
That's always a good
Dortmund is. I don't understand how Jadon Sancho survived out there. I don't get it.
Yeah, he was on ends every other week anyway.
The place is shocking. People are talking about Coventry in the comments. Trust me, I lived in Cov. It's not as bad as Dortmund. Dortmund sucks. Yeah? Now let's talk about it. You get into the stadium. Of course, the Yellow Wall, one of the most iconic stadiums in football history. I was very, very proud to be there. Fantastic atmosphere. They gave it their all. They did a little tifo thing. Big up you. And then I watched Chelsea put in a languid, poor Champions League performance where we created a couple chances in the first half and failed to execute. João Felix hits the bar. What else did he do? I think he hit the ball straight at the keeper. Stinky. Who the hell? Nathan, you make me sick. Dude, he said Dortmund is a nice place. Tell me what's nice in Dortmund. One thing. Don't say that stadium. Don't you dare say that stadium. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Because I can tell you Wembley's nice because it has a stadium. No, it's not nice. All right? Guys, I'm furious. I'm absolutely furious. My man's acting like Dortmund isn't twice as big as Chelsea. I don't know how you've come to that conclusion, mate. 2 Champions Leagues, mate. Let's just keep down the raps.
Dortmund have one. They got one.
I said Dortmund have.
We got 2. Oh, what? 94.
97.
Paul Lambert.
97.
They also won it at Bayern's ground. They also did.
Hey, that makes 2 of us.
God,
guys, before I went, I was searching for TikTok, I typed in things to do in Dortmund. Do you know what the TikToks were? They said things to do in Dortmund. watch Bayern win, and leave. That's all you do in Dortmund. That's all you do in that godforsaken city. Oh my goodness.
What a disgrace.
Yeah, you can, if you're in that city, you can seek God for real. There's no distractions. There's nothing. you can just seek the Lord. Like that's the mountain that you go to. But anyway, when it comes to the actual performance, we were really, really poor. And leaving the ground, every single Chelsea fan I spoke to, Potter out, Potter out, Potter out. The match-going fans are not behind this guy. And do you know how crazy it is for Chelsea fans to not get behind a white English manager? That's how bad you have to be for Chelsea fans.
Oscar, he's too foreign for them. He ain't no white English manager. He's too foreign.
They prefer the German over him. Do you know how crazy that is?
Swansea. It's too European for him. European.
But yeah, man,
I was gonna say, big up Adeyemi.
Oh,
Warrior. I was worried when he did when he did that backflip forward. I thought he was gonna break something because I was like,
What's the line? I thought legit, he's gonna break his neck. That is it.
Guys, by the way, can I just pull you up on something? That boy is a liar.
Who?
If Adeyemi, if you think he's got that pace, that agility, and that energy after eating fufu, he's capping.
The Dortmund Twitter account is a different level.
Dortmund, they've been tweeting. They've been tweeting.
Yeah, but you know the ties all to play for. We bring them back home, and you have to get a win. Like if Potter does not beat Dortmund at Stamford Bridge, I think the writing's on the wall for him. The league is out of reach now. We're not going to get top four. The only hope is he can put in a good Champions League run. But yeah, the fans at Stamford Bridge, they've lost all hope in this kid. I mean, this manager. They don't believe in him. They don't believe in the tactics. The substitutions he's making, everyone's confused. I fast forward now to the Southampton game. You look at the team, we had so many changes. Fofana comes in, Madueke comes in, Kova comes in, Koulibaly comes in, Aspilicueta comes in. Like to make that many changes from a Wednesday night, and the performance is almost identical. It's a lack of control in the middle. It's like no pressing at all, like none at all. And then the substitutions were just baffling. He started Datro Fofana, who actually played decent in the first half, probably our best attacker, was taken off at half time. And you know, he left out Reece James and he left out Thiago Silva to rest them. They weren't in the squad at all. They weren't in the squad. So, you know, you can't, like, this was a must-win game. I don't know every game feels like must-win for Chelsea, but
no, Southampton's a disgrace. It's a disgrace.
It's a disgrace. And I said in one of my group chats.
I don't care. I looked at your lineup. I looked at theirs. I said, your lineup was more than good enough to beat these lot. It does not matter.
It doesn't matter.
Does not matter.
It doesn't matter.
But you know what though? What surprises me? A lot of the Chelsea fans that I was watching, because I obviously it was them were his post-match interview. Because apparently he was too calm. And he's like, Southampton brought their A game, and then people just lost it at that. Said, have you seen the performances on the pitch?
A lot of people are angry at the way he talks. Like they want him to talk, like they want him to be like Mourinho and like Tuchel and be charismatic and to scream and show passion. That's just not who he is. It's just not who he is. And people feel like you have to be that to be a Chelsea manager. You have to have the intangibles. You know, Tuchel came out and said, when he came, he said, look, I want to build a team that nobody wants to play against. We can do a process, but what's a process without results? He said things like this. So when Graham Potter is coming out and he's saying, we tried, first half was poor, second half was better, we deserved the goal, you know, it's quite defeatist. And
I couldn't help but think he would be better off in the other dugout. You know, I think he would be superb fit for Southampton. But also, I think it's the first time I heard Chelsea fans booing the team off this season.
Yeah.
Have you heard that before, or was it
Dortmund? There were definitely boos too. And you know, against West Ham, we had players getting booed. You had a Cucurella got booed.
Your DJ or announcer or whatever it is that's at the bridge. What music did he play post match? Because the Southampton fans were loving it, whatever it was that they played.
So we play when we lose. We play "Don't Worry About a Thing."
Okay.
Every little thing is gonna be all right. We always play that when we lose.
Right. Okay. So I guess it was a sing along.
If you're the away support, you're gonna go crazy for that.
Absolutely. No. Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So it makes sense, innit? It makes sense. But like I can't really talk about the performance too much because it's that you give James Ward-Prowse a free kick and he's going to bang it in. You know, I read a stat that James Ward-Prowse is one free kick away now from matching David Beckham's record as the all-time Premier League free kick taker. In the last 5 years, only one man has scored more free kicks than James Ward-Prowse in all Europe's top 5 leagues. Do you know his name?
More free kicks.
Like, is it someone Bay? Is it someone Bay?
Yes, it's just another person who just has another accolade, and you're just like, you're the fake human being. It's Messi.
Yeah,
like, think about how we talk about Ward-Prowse's free kicks, and Messi has more than it. We don't even talk about Messi like he's the greatest free kick taker ever. We don't even talk about him like that.
That's mental. Yeah, that's like, what can't he do?
Did he not score a free kick on the weekend as well?
Yeah, a bang over free kick as well.
When I saw that stat, I said, bro, like, how can you have stats that we don't even know you have? Like, Messi's insane. But
Oscar's not there. He's like most goals, most assists. Now he's on the top of the free kick list. Like, come on,
like,
give the others a chance at least.
Look, a lot of people have been asking me how my Potter out. I have to say, like, my stocks dropped massively this week. Losing to Southampton, not so much the Dortmund game, but losing to Southampton at home is disgraceful. There is no excuse, no coming back from that. And if let's say my stocks were 75% at Potter, they're now 50% because because the result is on him. The result is on him. The starting lineup he picked was wrong. The substitutions he made were wrong. And whilst I sympathise with him because in the second half we really should have scored, some of the players just need to put the ball in the net. They just put their finger out and score the goals. This is the team he's walked into. This is the same problem that Tuchel faced. And Tuchel got sacked when he couldn't get these players to score. So, you've taken the leap to come to Chelsea. This is Chelsea Football Club.
Oscar, do you believe? 2 questions. Do you believe that Potter will make it to the end of the season based on this form? And secondly, are you beating Spurs away this Sunday?
We're not beating Spurs. That's guaranteed. We're not beating Spurs. And then, I think the board are in too deep. I think what they did with Tuchel made them look really, really bad. I think it made them look like they didn't know what they were doing and they sacked a successful manager because it wasn't going well in the first, 3 months. And I think when they brought in Potter, they gave him a large contract. They gave him the longest contract a Chelsea manager has ever had. So they simply said, this is our guy, we're backing him. Then they went in January and spent all the money to rectify the ridiculous signings they made in the summer. They have put their eggs in the Potter basket. I think we're getting Potter next season. I don't think he's going anywhere, regardless of how bad this gets.
But don't you think then, good point that you make there, but do you not think the fans will be on side if they did sack him? Because they would get
on side with what?
In terms of like as in, okay, they've sacked Potter, cool, let's arrest the situation, let's get a top manager in, we move.
Look, here's what it is
available.
Oscar said the match growing fans don't want him there. So if they sack Potter, the crowd ain't gonna be booing the board necessarily.
They're not going to boo the board, but it's not. It doesn't look good on the board.
Yeah, it's egg in their face.
It's egg on your face because it's just like, who do you think you are hiring a Brighton manager? Now it's just like you're stupid. So I think what happened
they're allowed a mistake, aren't they?
Chelsea fans, this board came in and we were like, what do we expect? Chelsea fans have a love and affection for Roman Abramovich, as you can imagine. Yeah, sure. They still sing his name. And then when Bowley came in, he spent all that money. So people were like, okay, we can get on board. He's ambitious. When he sacked Tuchel, they lost a lot of people. But then in January, he spent money again. And people are like, okay, you're rectifying issues. So Graham Potter, I think in the first couple of weeks, people were willing to give him time, but nobody really believed that he is the man for Chelsea Football Club. And I would love to see him overcome this horrible situation and turn it around. But I don't think it's going to happen this season. I think he's going to need to take stock and have a preseason and get rid of some players and assess exactly how he wants to play. He's got too many players in that squad. It's down there.
Far too many. And that's why like I sympathize with him to a degree because I feel like he's got he doesn't even know the players he walked into with yet.
No.
Then he's got a whole heap of new players in January. Yeah, go on.
I told you guys months ago, I don't think he's met Kante. I don't think them man have spotted each other and said, what's going on? I don't think they've met. Like, Kante's been on the injury table for years.
I'll tell you this for free. I'd rather a fit Kante than half of your signings. Because you know what Kante's going to give you. and you know, and that's what is needed. Because I feel like I look at like Madueke, he's going to be top class someday, sure. I look at Mudryk, he's going to be top class, sure. But it's like Potter now has to integrate these man into the squads that he doesn't already know. So it's like, well, like,
bro,
on a real, in all seriousness, yeah, no cap. If the guy's got 2 wins in 15, what's he doing there this Sunday? Yeah, what's he doing in the dugout this Sunday?
It's not. On Sunday. It is not going to be 3 wins. I promise you that.
2 and 16 then.
I promise you on Sunday it's not going to be 3 wins.
Oscar, I want to know one reason.
I can't lie.
Why? 1 second, Robin. One reason, Oscar, why Tuchel in for you? I mean, Potter in for you.
Why? Because I think he's a manager that can oversee a rebuild. I think what I saw him do at Brighton, I was always very impressed with how he made the most out of the squad that he had. He took players and made them well worth their value and sold them on for high fees. I think he had an attractive style of football. The only thing that I always feared, because I said this when Tottenham fans wanted him. I remember I was in a Twitter space and Tottenham fans, before they got Nuno, they were talking about Potter. And I said, you can't get Potter because Potter's never had the pressure to win in his life. In Brighton, them man go 9 games without a win and he still keeps his job. And then he comes out and wins 3. He'll beat United and he's the greatest manager since sliced bread. So I think I'm willing to give him time because we can't do this again. Like I can't sack another manager. Chelsea needed a squad overhaul and we needed that with Tuchel anyway. So we needed someone that was going to oversee that. And I don't think Graham Potter was the worst choice.
But even like now, like, bruv, look at the dross. Oscar, you've seen nothing good of this Chelsea side since he took over. He took over when the Champions League, you just lost to who in the Champions League? Was it Zagreb or whoever it was?
Zagreb. And he topped our group.
He topped your group, but is that's what you got to offer them for me? That's what you got to say in terms of, because you Oscar's doing an appraisal with Graham Potter. What is the reason for keeping his job?
Yeah, like I believe in his style of play, man. He just hasn't implemented it.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. Okay. So since they just showed it on Match of the Day, since 2016, James Ward-Prowse has had 17 free kick goals. Messi's had 26. Messi's at 26. He's a joke of a man.
It's fake.
A couple more comments before we move on. David says Potter does not have the minerals. Simple as that. Lola says Potter would have worked better at Spurs, to be fair. Less pressure, and they have guaranteed goals from Kane. Maybe. I just thought, like, look, if you're trying to get Champions League football, you have to win majority of your games, and he's never shown that he can do that in the Premier League. Nathan said, he's not going to scrap over Potter. Look, it's going to get real toxic, guys. I fear for my life at the White Hart Lane. What's the stadium called? That Beyonce Bowl.
The Armitage Chance.
The Beyonce Stadium.
The Beyonce Bowl.
Beyonce Stadium. That I fear for my life going to that game because when Chelsea inevitably...
Are you physically going?
Yeah, I'm going. First time going to that
first time? Oh, it's going to be lit.
Guys, I know for a fact when Chelsea begin to lose the game, and we're going to lose, I've got no confidence. I'm quite optimistic as a fan. I've got no confidence we'll get anything out of this game. It's going to get really toxic. They're going to be booing the manager, booing the players, fighting in the stands, all of that.
And fighting outside the stadium when it's Spurs. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.